You're comfortable. You know what you're doing, right? You've established your space in the place. But Monday mornings just don't always feel so good, right? Um, why is that? Why is that? Well, three things I want you to consider. First of all, Monday mornings signify it's the start of the work week. And for many people, this can be associated with stress and with anxiety, thinking about all of the upcoming tasks and the responsibilities that you have. I was talking to another client and they're like, I sleep so good on the on the weekends. I can have just the best sleep, but then Sunday night, I'm just not doing well, not sleeping well. It's the anticipation of facing that busy week ahead that can contribute to those feelings of dread and difficulty getting motivated. You feel me? Yeah. Um, or it could be just withdrawal, like that weekend withdrawal, because the weekends typically provide a break. You have that pause from the routine and the responsibilities of work. So when you have to return to that structured environment on Monday morning, it could feel like a jarring transition that's leading up to the reluctance, fatigue, right? And then you have just these factors that are play, just in our mind that Monday is unpleasant. The beliefs and the attitudes that we have about Mondays can just influence how you experience your Monday. And it can make it even more difficult than the other days of the week just to get started. Who's with me? Can you feel me? Do you feel me on that? So here's the thing I want you to consider. And this is what I invited my client to start to think about. Because she wasn't just feeling like this on Mondays. That's my question. Do you always feel like this? For her, it was a Monday morning, but as we started to go deeper, it was Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, not Friday, because Friday leads into the weekend. It's just pushing myself to get up. That is a cue. That is a divine invitation for you to pay attention, because it might be that you're not aligned with your current position. It could be that maybe it's time for a shift. It's time for something different. Maybe you're not feeling truly fulfilled with where you are. Something to consider. When we feel like this, it is an opportunity to tune in and to connect more deeply with what is the wisdom. What's the wisdom here? What is wisdom trying to tell me? Oftentimes, when God speaks to us, if we don't get the powerful moment, it's going to come to you through your body. There's going to be some type of feeling that you experience. And that feeling of dread, that feeling of, let me push through this, let me make myself do this. That is a cue. That is a huge cue. That is a huge flag. That is a huge, hey, pay attention here. Okay? So stop and pay attention and dial in. The second thing is, how do you start your morning? So how do you start? How do you start your mornings? I had a conversation with my friend D Fresh today, and we were talking about, how we start our mornings impact our whole day, your whole day. Yes, this is annoying me. How we start our mornings, it impacts our whole day. So how do you start your mornings? What's the first thing that you do in the morning? Do you reach for your phone? A lot of people do. First you wake up, you grab the phone. Yeah. So when you grab the phone and start scrolling first thing in the morning, guess what you're doing? You're already that beautiful time, first thing in the morning when you're open and you're in that theta state. And the first thing that you do is just pile more angst, because that's what happens when you're in scrolling social media, but you don't realize it. But you're plugging in to more activity and information and people and stories and things that don't really center and ground you. So, what are you starting your morning with? Okay. And then I want you to consider, what kind of practices do you have? What kind of practices do you have on an ongoing basis to help you to stay plugged in, to help you to stay centered and grounded? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? It's so important to have these things in place so that you can step into a more fulfilled, peaceful, joy filled experience of life. And that starts with you in the first part of your day. And I'm not talking about early. I know there's a lot of people are club, 5 a.m. club, and I actually wake up at 5 a.m. because that's when my body wakes me up. But trust, if I'm on vacation or something and my body goes back to sleep, I go back to sleep. So I am not like trying to get up at 5 a.m., but that's just my circadian rhythm. So I get up at 5 a.m. and I go with it. Whenever you get up, what are you doing when you get up? What is your routine? What are your practices? How are you staying connected to your higher source? How are you connecting into the energy of love? How are you connecting to that? Because you see what's happening as you, what's the word, perseverate on, oh my gosh, I have this to do, I have that to do. And you start running your to do list and you start overthinking and you start thinking about what you don't want to do and what you have to do and what you should do and what you need to. Guess what you're creating? You're creating more anxiety and fear and angst and pressure and stress. That's what you're creating first thing in the morning, and that carries throughout your day. What if you begin to develop practices where you are creating a more purposeful, aligned, joyful, expectant experience for your day? That's possible for you too. And now you're moving in a whole different energy when you do that, the energy of love. Love is powerful. And you know, love is the only thing that removes fear. Fear torments you, right? You may not think of stress as fear, but it's a cousin. You may not think of pressure as a being related to fear, but you know, it's a relative. It's in the family. Yeah. So I know that you're strong and you're powerful and you know how to push through and you know how to achieve and accomplish things. But I also know when we do it from the energy of fear, it terrorizes you. There's another way. There's another way. And it starts with putting some personal borders around your mind, around your thoughts, around the people that you bring in your life, around your activities. All of those things contribute to that. But it's all starts with how you begin that day. So I just want to invite you to consider those questions, okay? So you can step into, like I said, a more fulfilled, peaceful, joy-filled experience of life. And some Mondays will just be a Monday morning, but that doesn't have to be your everyday experience. You feel me? That's not the way you were designed to be. Okay. So I want to make it real easy for you to start to develop some different practices and start to consider things differently. Come to my Why Not You First Masterclass. It is March 20th, 90 minutes, well worth your time because you'll really get why self-care isn't selfish, it's sacred. You'll be able to really begin to dial into standing unapologetically in your no. Aren't you ready to do that? Aren't you ready to reclaim your time? Aren't you ready to prioritize you without guilt and to celebrate you and cherish you beyond what you've achieved? This is your opportunity. You can use those same skills that you've developed in order to advance to where you are in life. You can take all of those and have a different focus and turn it towards you, prioritizing you. And I have a simple blueprint to elevate your relationship with yourself. Because when you put you at the top of your list, life just becomes easier and you experience more flow and a whole lot more energy.